Hi everyone, welcome to this presentation on PRINCE2 process model. In this presentation, we will discuss about how projects are delivered using PRINCE2 processes. My name is Ashish and I work as a trainer and consultant at ProjectingIT. In this presentation, I will discuss the 7 processes of PRINCE2 and we will see how they are used to deliver a project. Projects are temporary and they must have a start and finish date. PRINCE2 recommends that the projects should be divided into management stages. There should be minimum 2 management stages in any project. A management stage is used to deliver products of the project. Each management stage is planned, delivered, and accepted at the end of the stage. In the first management stage, we do the planning for the project. And in the second management stage, we execute the plan. That is, we deliver the products of our project. If projects are complex and risky, we divide the execution stage into more number of stages. The number of stages will depend upon the risk and the complexity of the project. These milestones, the diamonds as you see on the screen, are used as stage gates by the project board. The project board makes decisions about the project at the end of each management stage. They review how the work was completed and they also review the plan for the next stage. Only after they approve, we proceed to the next management stage. Before the first management stage can begin, we do a feasibility study of the project. You can call it startup or you can call it pre-project. This is where we identify the project objectives and investigate the reasons for doing the project. Then once the initiation is approved, we move to the first management stage of project, which is initiation stage. This is where plan for the project is produced. The plan tells us how the project objectives will be met. It describes the delivery plan of the project. Then we have the execution stages where we do the actual work of the project to create deliverables of the project. The projects are triggered by mandate. The mandate provides the reasons for doing the project. Mandate is provided by the corporate or program management. Mandate defines the terms of reference for doing the project. Mandate is to be investigated further. We need to check the problem and identify preliminary solution along with cost and timelines. To do this, we have the first process of PRINCE2, which is starting up a project. Each process receives an input, has some defined activities to do, and has a defined output. The output then becomes an input to the next process in line. There are 7 total processes in PRINCE2. Each process defines the management work to be done at that time. The processes are written for 3 PRINCE2 rules. The project board, which is a group that looks at the project status and makes decisions about the project. Then we have the team manager who delivers the products. So we have another process to define how the team manager receives work from the project manager and delivers product to the project manager. And all other 5 processes are for the project manager. In the first process, that is starting up a project, the project manager and the key roles in PRINCE2 project management team are appointed. During starting up a project, the project manager will Discuss with the stakeholders about the project scope and quality requirements at a very high level. An initial business case is created to justify the project undertaking. Once starting up a project is completed, we have few things in place. We have the project objectives, we know the high level scope of project, we know the high level quality expectations of the project, we know the project stakeholders, we have appointed few key roles on the Prince2 project management team. All of this is defined in a Prince2 document called Project Brief. The project brief is used to decide whether the project should go into initiation or not. The project brief is submitted to the project board. The project board uses a process called directing a project. This process defines the activities to be done by the project board at different times on the project. The first decision made by the project board is when the project brief is available and the project manager wants to begin planning. Board will use directing a project at stage gates to see how the project work is being done and to decide what next action should be taken to proceed with the project. The project brief is reviewed by the board. They will check the project business case to ensure whether the project investment is worthwhile. They will also ensure that the project team has understood the mandate, they have understood the project requirements, and that the project can be funded. They will also ensure that the benefits expected from the project are enough and good for the company. Once the board has approved the project brief, they authorize project initiation. The initiation stage is where the project manager will do planning for how the project will be delivered. To do the planning work, Prince2 defines a process called initiating a project. In this process, you have various activities that tells how to do the project planning. For example, preparing risk management strategy to define how project risk management will be done. Preparing communication management strategy that defines how the project meetings or project information will be shared with the stakeholders. You also define procedures for change control. During initiating a project, the project manager will identify requirements, will identify teams to do the work, high level efforts, timelines, and budget requirements. The project manager will also determine the risks on the project and what can be done about them. Once the initiating a project is completed, the project manager will have a planning document called as Project Initiation Documentation, also called as PID. The PID describes how the project work will be done. The PID describes the business case, the various strategies, and the plan for the project. The project brief that was created during starting up a project is now replaced by a more comprehensive and detailed document called as PID. You actually expand the project brief in initiating a project to create the PID. The PID needs to be authorized by the project board using directing a project. Once the board approves the PID, stage 2 delivery will begin. PID defines how the project controls and monitoring will be done. Prince2 recommends that high-level plans should be created during initiating a project, whereas the detailed plans for each stage should be created before the stage begins. So you leave the detailing until the stage is about to begin. Once the PID is produced, the project manager starts planning for the immediate next stage, which is stage 2 in this case. To prepare detailed plans for stage 2, the project manager uses a process managing a stage boundary. This process is used before the stage is about to begin and around the end of the stage. Before the stage, the project manager uses managing a stage boundary to create the plans and get it approved by the board. And towards the end of the stage, the project manager again uses the process to see how the plan was delivered and to see what has gone wrong or well in the plan. It will be used to create the next stage plan. So this process happens towards the end of each management stage and it is only used by the project manager. So now the project manager has created the stage 2 plan that describes what work will be done during stage 2, which teams will be involved, what are the timelines for stage 2, interim milestones, efforts, cost, and how communication and reporting takes place during stage 2. So now the project manager goes to the board again who is directing a project. The project manager will submit two documents to the project board, the PID and the plan for stage 2. The board will verify if the overall control mechanisms are in place using the PID, and the board will also see how stage 2 work will be done and they set tolerances for stage 2. The tolerances are used for management by exception. What it means, as long as stage 2 remains within the tolerances set by the board, the project manager can make corrective decisions within them. If, however, stage 2 tolerance is about to exceed, the project manager should raise an exception report and alert the board about a possible breach of tolerance. That is where the board will have to come and make decisions for the project manager. If stage 2 remains within tolerance, the board will review the project at the end of stage 2. After the board has approved PID and the stage 2 plan, the project manager will use teams to deliver stage 2. So the project manager's job during stage 2 is to ensure the stage 2 is completed as agreed with the project board. Controlling a stage process defines the day-to-day management work of the project manager. Controlling a stage processes activities for the project manager to delegate work to the teams, to review status of work of teams, and to report status of stage to the board. Controlling a stage also have activities to manage project risks, project changes, and reporting. It also includes escalation by the project manager to the board. As part of controlling a stage, project manager creates a work package. A work package is used to assign work to the team managers. Work package defines the work that needs to be done by the team manager, the efforts, cost, and timelines agreed with the team manager, the reporting requirements, and the tolerances agreed for the work package. Project manager delegates work using work package. It is accepted by the team manager using managing product delivery. This process is used by team manager to agree the work to be done with the project manager and how the reporting takes place and how the escalation takes place. Team manager's job is to receive the work package, create plans for the team, ensure team is completing the work as expected, take corrective actions as long as they remain within work package tolerance, do all quality activities as agreed with the project manager, obtain sign off on the products created, and then hand back the work package to the project manager. The deliverables of managing product delivery include the team plan and the checkpoint report. The checkpoint report is the time driven or as an agreed frequency report that provides the progress information on the work package to the project manager. So it could be sent every Thursday or every day or every fortnight by the team manager to the project manager. If tolerances are forecast to exceed, the team manager sends or notifies the project manager by raising a issue. Team manager does not create an exception report, however, raises the exception by notifying the project manager. Project manager will check if the team's problem is within stage 2 tolerance. If the project manager can advise, the project manager tells the team what action to take next. If the work package tolerance also threatens the stage 2 delivery, then the project manager notifies the board by raising a exception report. During controlling a stage, the project manager will keep receiving checkpoint reports from the team manager. Using this, the project manager updates the stage 2 plan to ensure it is progressing as expected. At a regular frequency defined by the project board, the project manager sends a status report to the project board and whosoever is interested in that report. This report is called as highlight report in PRINCE2. On a day-to-day basis, the project manager's job will be to control changes, monitor risks, and manage and control issues on the project. And if tolerance is exceeding, write an exception report for the project board. During this period, the project manager's job is to ensure that stage 2 is delivered within tolerances as agreed with the board. So teams create the products, project manager ensures the stage 2 remains within targets, and project board will receive reports from the project board, from the project manager, and if required will advise the project manager. When the stage 2 is about to complete or has completed, the project manager's job is to see how the stage 2 has been delivered. So project manager will analyze how the plan has been completed, the planned versus actual, whether all work has been completed as agreed, whether all deliverables have been accepted by the users, and also see the lessons learned during the stage 2. Project manager will check the PID to see if the strategies and plans are working. Managing a stage boundary also helps in applying inspect and adapt strategy. It means check your plans and if required, update them based on the experience of stage 2 so that best practices and lessons can be applied for stage 3. As part of managing a stage boundary, project manager will create a end stage report that describes the delivery of stage 2 and the lessons learned during stage 2. The project manager will also review and update the business case with actuals and forecast at the end of stage 2. Project manager will also update or create stage 3 plan. When the project manager is ready, he will submit stage 3 plan and the end stage report for stage 2 and the latest updates on project business case. Project board will review the project status at the end of each stage. So once they receive the plans and reports, they will verify if the project is progressing as expected. They will check whether all deliverables have been completed and accepted. They will check whether the project business case is still viable and justified. They will also verify the plan for stage 3 and the required resources. Board will set tolerances for stage 3. After the board has approved stage 2 and the plan for stage 3, the project manager will start delivering stage 3. Once again, controlling a stage is used to assign work to the teams, and the teams uses managing product delivery to create deliverables of the project. Teams keep the project manager informed using checkpoint report, and the project manager keeps the board informed using highlight report. Risks and issues are monitored and controlled. If there is any tolerance exceeding, the team raises issue to the project manager, and if there is any tolerance is forecast to exceed in stage 3, the project manager notifies the project board. The project board on their part have to make sure that the project remains within tolerance. But if project level tolerance is forecast to exceed, then the board will have to inform the corporate or program management. If stage 3 is also the final stage of the project, towards the end of stage 3, project manager uses closing a project process to ensure that the project deliverables are handed over to operations. Closing a project process defines the work that needs to be done towards the end of the project. This process can be used anytime if the project is to close prematurely. But if the project goes as expected, it will be used in the final stage of the project. As part of closing a project, project manager prepares end project report that describes how the project work was completed and also the performance of the project against the original PID. The baseline versus actual is compared. The project manager also compiles the lessons learned from the project, the team performance. If any activity or any work was not completed, or if there are any open issues in the project, the project manager will document them as follow-on action recommendations. Follow-on action recommendations define the unfinished business of the project. Once the end project report is ready, the project manager uh, submits the report to the project board. It is the board who will review the status of the project and ensure that the project has done all the work as agreed as agreed with the corporate, and then they will allow the project to be closed. This is how PRINCE2 process model works. There are total 7 processes in PRINCE2. Some of these processes are used only once during the project, whereas other processes are used multiple times. Starting up a project is used to identify the project objectives and ensure that the projects are initiated only if they have a strong business justification. Initiating a project is used for doing planning for the project. Controlling a stage process is used by project manager for day-to-day management of a stage. Managing product delivery is used only by team manager to create the deliverables of the project and to keep the project manager informed about the status. Managing stage boundary process is used by project manager towards the end of each management stage to report to the board how the project is progressing and what is the plan for the next stage. Closing a project process is used by the project manager to ensure handover of products to the operations and analyze the project performance. And directing a project process is used by the project board to provide management control and direction to the project. The board uses directing a project to provide decisions on the project. Each process receives an input, have couple of activities defined to be done, and have defined outputs. Outputs become inputs to other processes. This is how PRINCE2 process model works. Thank you.